Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Reel Me In, a movie podcast where you didn't really ask for it, but hey, I'm going to give it to you anyways. This is a podcast where I talk about anything, everything, and anything about movies. I'm your host, Chase Lee, and hey, guys, listen, this is episode 127, and I cannot believe I made it this far, and my guest he can't believe that shit either. So, yeah, hey, listen, if you're looking for on the internet for some weird, turkey on chicken porn or something, you accidentally came across my podcast and you're not a movie fan, well, hey, maybe I can convince you to be one. With that being said, guys, I am not alone today, and if you are new to this show, what I do is I'll go over some movie news, some trailers, my main topic, and then box office results, and then send you off to the next week. So before I get to my guest, little housekeeping rules. If you're watching on YouTube and you want an audio-only version because you don't want to see our beautiful mugs, then link will be in the description below. If you're listening on Spreaker, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, or iTunes, and you want a video version to see our beautiful mugs, link will be in the description below. So I am not alone. I have with me another Dallas critic. I brought on a couple. I brought on Susan Kamyab. I've brought in a good old Carrie Darling a couple times, and this is a first-timer, and this would be Wes Singleton. He's going to explain to you guys what he does and where you can find him. So, Wes, first of all, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great.
All right. So, tell people what you do and where they can find you.
Well, I have been a critic for about 10 years. Okay. I've been writing for various online sites, and I currently have my own site, watchwithwes.com, and I've had it for a few years now. Have a passion, a love for movies. I've been doing it all my life. And enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, I had to bring Wes on because if we're going to be talking about the Dallas International Film Festival, then, I got to bring someone else on and talk about this shit because I can't just blaze through 14 of them because then you'll get tired of me talking about shit. So we'll have some differing opinions. But Wes and I would like to dedicate this episode to a certain individual. Wes, would you like to explain why?
Sure. A good friend of ours, and a local critic. He's been reviewing movies, or he was reviewing movies for over 20 years. His name is Gary Murray. Mm-hmm. He was president of our Critics Association that we are a part of.
North Texas
Film Critics Association. He was tragically killed in a car accident while reviewing movies, while doing coverage for the Dallas Film Festival.
It's the best way to go out, I'm telling you.
Right. So at least now, maybe he's watching movies as much as he can.
Of course.
He wants to, wherever he is.
Exactly.
But we dedicate this to Gary. It's a very sad, senseless tragedy.
Absolutely. And the motherfucker, if you were listening to this, that caused the hit and run, you can go sit on a cactus, eat a rusty pipe. I don't care what you fucking do. Go die. Because that's just unacceptable. I hate that shit. So without further ado, guys, let's jump right into this. Let's do some movie news. Let's start out with a couple appetizers, and we'll move on to the main topic. But Wes, you are the guest, and here is the list right here on my bed. Because I like to go super fancy with a expo marker board. So what would you like to talk about first?
I know you have the first topic up there, the Rock and Jumanji. Mm-hmm. And I was reading a little bit about that this week.
What did you find out?
Yeah, I saw that it was confirmed that they are actually remaking Jumanji.
When I sent Wes the notes, I put a question mark because I wasn't really sure, but he is right. Right before we started, it is now confirmed. But the reason I want to bring this up, I'm not going to reveal Wes's age on here, but he is older than me, so I don't know what movies he particularly grew up with and whatnot, because I grew up in the 90s. I grew up with Jumanji, and, of course, Robin Williams is boss in it.
I was about to say this was probably one film of your childhood.
Oh, yeah. It's fucking Jumanji. Are you kidding me? Everyone in my grade loved this movie. So
that and your next topic, which is Power Rangers.
Oh, God. I know. This is all about the childhood episode right here.
It's all about you.
I know. It's all about me. It's not even about you. Get the fuck off. All right. So, no, The Rock is supposed to be in the Jumanji remake. So first I want to ask Wes, what do you think of the Jumanji remake in general, and what do you think of The Rock being in it?
Well, I wasn't a huge fan of the first film. It was okay to me. But I remember mostly Robin Williams in it.
Oh, of course.
And, but I think it would be a great – it's always interesting to see what they can do with the remake and with updated special effects and technology. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking forward to it, actually.
That's interesting because I don't mind that they're remaking it, but having The Rock be in it, as much as I like the guy and as much as he's charismatic and shit,
He's not Robin Williams.
He's not Robin Williams, and that might be the problem because Mr. What was his name? Peter Parrish or whatever. His character in the movie, Robin Williams.
Oh yes,
Mr. Parrish or something like that. Right. I think of Robin Williams. I don't think of this big muscular dude with a tribal tattoo on his left shoulder to take on that role.
True.
And I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I would have to see a trailer first because you guys keep forgetting that The Rock is super big right now. With like San Andreas, he's got Central Intelligence coming out. He's got Baywatch coming out. The dude is a mega superstar. However, do you guys remember when he first started out in this business after moving on from wrestling? He did a lot of kids movies at first. He did the Game Plan. He did that awful Tooth Fairy shit. I mean,
he did Race from Witch Mountain.
Race from Witch Mountain. So he's done a lot of kids films. So I'm wondering if I think this would be good for his career. I'd have to see like a trailer first before I make any judgment on it because it's fucking Jumanji.
That's right. They're gonna amp up the action.
Oh yeah,
that with The Rock in it.
The original still holds up. Have you seen it recently?
I have not.
It's okay. Well, all right. Bye everyone. That was a nice episode. I watched it like a couple months ago, and it still holds up. The special effects are a little wonky. Let's keep it real.
Yeah,
keep it 100.
The cheesy thing I remember about.
You remember the scene where it's like the stampede of like elephants and rhinos and shit through the intersection, and like if you watch it now, you're like, wow, I can't believe I believe this as a kid because it looks awful. But I'd have to see a trailer first. But you know what, The Rock is charismatic enough to where he could probably sell me on a porta potty commercial, so I'm all down for it. So the next piece of news that we'll talk about is let's do a photo section because there's a couple photos that released this week and they caused up a lot of stir and I got them pulled up right here. We're going to talk about that damn Pete's Dragon photo. Now, Pete's Dragon is an old film from Wes's era because Wes was born in the 1910s. And so, Pete's Dragon, I never actually saw the original. Did you see the original?
I did see the original, and that was very cheesy. It was animated.
Yeah, it was, because what was it, like 60s?
70s. Mid-70s.
So mid-70s, and it was one of the, not the first, but one of the earlier movies to mix in live action with animation and stuff. And so, I don't know. Disney's on a roll right now to where I don't care what they make. But first of all, do you like the idea of a Pete's Dragon remake, or
I don't think it could hurt.
Care?
Yeah,
I don't fucking care either. I really don't.
I don't think it could hurt. They remade the Jungle Book, and it was been a huge hit for them. So I think they're trying to maybe remake some of those, and I don't think it could certainly hurt at all.
I don't know, because like what the news is they released a photo like first and foremost, and it was actually in my Entertainment Weekly issue, and I pulled up the picture online, and it's essentially Pete on the ground looking up at the dragon. However, he looks like a giant furry fucking dog. He doesn't even look like a dragon anymore, so it kind of concerns me a little bit. Like when you look at that photo, like what do you think?
Yeah, it does look. It doesn't look like
a dragon
at all. But you don't see all of the dragon itself. So maybe they're trying to conceal it. They don't want to reveal everything. Maybe a little mystery to it.
That was the argument that people would have, like, oh, the dragon's not fully shown, but the majority of it is shown to where it looks like it has fur, not scales.
That's maybe because it's maybe hidden by some trees.
Right. See, Wes he's playing devil's advocate right now. That's cute and everything, but that first photo does not get me excited whatsoever.
No, it does. I agree. It doesn't really excite me either. But
okay, so
they're trying to keep maybe more photos will come and it'll look a little better.
I agree. We have to see a little bit more because all we've seen is like a teaser trailer so far, so there's not really much to go off of. But since Wes and I go to a bunch of screens all the time, I have to ask you this: would you, even if you got a free screen, would you still go see it?
Sure.
Okay, well, there you go. If I do, I'm not going to see
it. See, that's the optimal word. It's free.
Yeah, but
even if it sucks.
But even if you go to a free screen, you could sit through 2 hours of shit and feel disgusting afterwards, even though, like, what you're getting yourself into when you go in there, and you're still suffering through that. You would still do it, even if it's free.
It's free.
Wes is a fucking trooper.
Well, the way I look at movies, it's maybe an escape, even if it's sucky.
Well, let's put it this way. Disney's on a roll right now to where, like, even if Pete's Dragon sucks a huge pile of dragon testicles, guess what? They've got a bunch of hits throughout the year already with Zootopia, The Jungle Book, and now Captain America Civil War. They're doing just fine.
We'll just know that it's not going to be Jurassic Park.
No, it's not. But, I mean, the photo kind of concerns me. But let's see a full trailer first before we really get into it. But I don't want to see it because my movie I'm looking forward to in August is Suicide Squad because I'm a comic book guy. I mean, obviously, look behind me. So, Suicide Squad in August for me, no Pete's Dragon. So the second photo we want to talk about, and we're looking at right here. Once again, I am a 90s kid. Wes is not. So, Wes, you don't have to tell me how old you were, but, like, you were definitely older when Power Rangers were, like, in full force, right? Did you ever even get into it?
It was a little past me. I was already in college at the time.
Oh, God. Okay, never mind. Yeah, he was way beyond that. So when you watch the episodes or whatever, you're like, how could anyone fucking like this? Because I'm not going to lie. As a kid that grew up in the 90s, Power Rangers is cheesy as all hell.
But it's for kids.
It is for kids. And I did watch it when I was a kid because I think the first movie came out when I was 8 or something like that. So I was like, perfect. So the
reliving your childhood here, right?
Yeah, exactly. Of course, I'm actually in favor of this. By the way, the photo is Elizabeth Banks. She's going to be playing Rita Repulsa or whatever. Rita Repulsa. Sorry. She was the villain in the show that basically looked like she had serious dubbing issues, and like she would talk or whatever, and like whatever came out of her mouth was not how she was moving her mouth. So it was really fucking weird. So I'm actually the photo we got pulled up on the right is actually what Rita looks like in the show, and then Elizabeth Banks looks like. Do you remember? You remember the Wolverine and the Poison Ivy chick? She kind of looks like that.
It does.
She kind of like has this like slick green outfit to her. She's got a bunch of green shit in her hair and stuff. I'm not gonna lie, I've been totally against this reboot for the longest time, but she looks pretty cool actually.
Yeah, I agree. And even more so, I would want to see, and I don't know, have you seen pictures of the new Power Rangers themselves, or is this the first photo?
I think this is the first photo from the movie because the first official photo was just the cast without their suits. So this is kind of like the first time we've seen someone in a costume.
If they look as good as that, I mean, it doesn't look like it'd be interesting to see what they do with it.
Because let me throw a little bit of knowledge at you. So the first movie, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, did okay at the box office. They released a second one in theaters called Turbo, a Power Rangers movie. That thing flopped on its ass before it even got to theaters.
Did you see it?
No, I did not. So what kind of tone do you think they're going to do for this movie? Because you've seen bits of the show. It is cheesy. So how do you think they're going to go darker or what?
I think so. I think they're maybe go a little darker. I know they'll probably want to steer toward kids, but I think they'll go a little more slicker, edgier, maybe.
Did you see the Power Rangers kind of dark short film that was on what was it? What's the other one? Not YouTube, the one that starts with a V. Vimeo, yeah. Vimeo. Did you see that one?
I did not.
Oh, it's amazing. Like it's like super graphic. It kind of had like the Daredevil treatment where it was like kind of darker and more bloodier and stuff. I was like, yeah, I like this. My sick twisted mind likes this. But I'm actually really curious to see what kind of tone they're going to do. But as far as the picture goes,
I'd be interested to see more.
Definitely. Right? Yeah.
Based on that, when I first saw the picture, I was like, holy cow.
It's weird because you're looking at the one from the right. The one from the right is the one from the show.
That's right.
It's completely different. So that's kind of cool that they're taking a different approach. I'd have to see a trailer first, but to be honest with you, I really don't want to see it just because if they go with the TV show route and it's like cheesy as all hell and it's just really corny, it's not going to do well. But if you do a different spin on it, since we're kind of like in the superhero craze right now, it could work.
I think today's children have changed.
Oh, for sure.
And special effects and technology has changed too. I definitely see a slicker, edgier Power Rangers than what they had before.
I'll tell you what, if the movie's like really good, I'm gonna be like, you know what? I will forgive the show because the reboot's badass. But like I said, until then, we gotta see a trailer or something. But as far as the first picture goes, Elizabeth Banks, if you would like to come to my house, my address is this. Come dressed up as that, and we'll have a fun time. No, that's terrible. But no, it's really funny that like
good luck with that.
I don't know, right? No, but it's really funny that like you could look at her and be like, she's always been attractive to me. Even with like this green look, she's still kind of hot.
She is very attractive.
It's ridiculous.
Very, yeah.
So Rita Repulsa, Elizabeth Banks, sign me up. If she joined the project, she must have obviously found something intriguing with the script or whatever. Because if someone approached you and was like, "We're making a Power Rangers movie, would you like to be in it?" I'd be like, "No, not really."
But if they offered you $5 million,
Dude, she's got the Pitch Perfect franchise under her directing belt. She's always acting and stuff. She does not need money.
She's a big time director now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But this would give her even more money to do projects and things like that. That's how
I guess.
Well, that's how a lot of actors do their smaller projects because they're using money they make from their bigger projects.
Yeah, case in point, The Visit from last year. M. Night Shyamalan took all of his money that he made from Last Airbender, After Earth, and he funneled it into The Visit, and The Visit made over $100 million on like a $5 million budget. So,
crazy,
it's amazing. So, Power Rangers movie, we'll see. All right, so the next piece of news, we're going to get into some comic book territory. We're going to get a little sweaty here, but Wes is going to get really nervous because he doesn't really like talking about this stuff. So, we'll see. We'll see if I can get like a little bit of excitement about it. So, Justice League. Now, Wes does not like Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Let's throw that out there. I liked it. I didn't love it, but, we'll leave it at that. So the news is that Willem Dafoe, from Spider-Man, he played Norman Osborn and stuff. He's going to be in Justice League, and they're actually saying that he's going to play a good guy.
I read that.
I think that's bullshit.
Why?
Willem Dafoe is like the ultimate bad guy. You take a look at his fucking face, and you go, yeah, he's probably going to play a villain in something. Like, he never looks like the good guy.
Well, it's against type for him.
I mean,
they've already got enough bad people in it. Jared Leto's going to walk off with that movie anyway, I think.
For Justice League?
Justice League, is that what I'm thinking? I'm thinking of Suicide Squad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, different movies there, Wes.
See, that's how into comics.
Yeah, he hates his genre, folks. No,
it's kind of like mixing up Star Trek and Star Wars.
Oh God, you're gonna have a bunch of people coming after you now. No, like even though you hated Batman v Superman, are you still at least intrigued by Justice League?
I am, and that was the best part of the Superman versus Batman to me.
Wow,
was the introduction of all of these characters for the Justice League. So I am intrigued. I thought Wonder Woman was badass.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Loved her. She was my favorite thing in it. So I'm actually looking forward to see what they're going to do with it, even though I didn't care for Batman versus Superman.
So with adding J.K. Simmons now as Commissioner Gordon and now Willem Dafoe, do you think that they're adding all this big talent and they're turning it around after?
They could. You never know.
You
never know if he truly. It says on paper, okay, he's a good guy, but he could be a bad guy. Who is he playing? Do you know?
I don't know. They're keeping it under wraps.
Could be a good bad guy. Could be a good bad guy. We never know.
What if he?
He always has that sort of edge anyway. He plays those unconventional characters. So.
I don't think that Willem Dafoe would sign up for it if it was a good guy. If it was just like a kind of a small role.
Again, whenever you're writing the checks out.
Okay, that is true. Like if your agent went up to you and said, you're going to get a part in a superhero movie, you're going to take it because that's on the craze right now. So if you're in a superhero movie, you're going to do pretty well. But Willem Dafoe has already done Spider-Man. So I don't know, because he played a bad guy in Spider-Man. Do you think he could be playing a good guy to switch it around? But
you never know.
What if he was playing a Batman villain?
I'd love it.
What if he was playing the Riddler?
I could see that.
Right? Yeah. So
you never know. Like you said, on paper it has that he's a good guy, but we'll see.
We'll see. I think they're going to pull up a fast one on us. I don't think he's playing a good guy at all. But Willem Dafoe, going back to him, he's a great talent. So I think with adding him and like J.K. Simmons as Commissioner Gordon, which I'm super excited about, because now we're getting they're stealing all the Spider-Man cast. So you got Green Goblin. Now he's in Justice League. You have J. Jonah Jameson. Stick him in Justice League. So like they're stealing everyone. Now they just need to get Tobey Maguire to do something in there, and they're good to go. So, but yeah, no, I'm excited for Justice League Part 1. And it's strange because it's coming out next year.
That's right.
It's coming out right after Wonder Woman. So I know you didn't like BVS, but you're looking for towards Justice League. Are you looking forward to Suicide Squad?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. And I'm sorry I got that mixed up earlier, but definitely. I think that's definitely
that could be the game changer.
I think so.
Yeah, because Wes is not a big fan of Man of Steel either, but you will say that was better than BVS, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, a little bit. Okay, well, I got him to say that.
Overall, yes, a little bit.
So do you think Suicide Squad could be the very first one that you might actually love?
You know, I loved Deadpool. I thought it was a great movie.
Okay, so Wes
I'm
can
not
be
anti. Just get it clear. I'm not.
Yes, he is.
Anti-superhero.
Yes, he is.
No, I'm not. Some of the newer ones have not been as good, and I think it's because there's such a glut of them. There's a lot many of them. Like I said,
there's 6 of them that come out this year alone.
It's easy to get them mixed up, and of course, I know you're going to be devoting probably an extensive amount of time to Civil War.
Oh, of course. I'm bringing Susan on that episode.
How many episodes are you going to devote to that?
Probably about 5 or 6. But no, let's get something straight, guys. I know I dog on people that don't really like superhero movies that much, but for instance, Wes, what is your favorite genre?
Probably action.
Okay, comedy. So Wes could watch a bunch of action movies in a row and never get tired of it. I would get tired after a little bit. Superhero movies are the same way with me. I don't get tired of them. It's kind of like it's my go-to genre right now. So it's just a genre, folks. Like that's some people like it, some people don't.
Well, you know, our friend Carrie, he's not.
Oh yeah, Carrie doesn't like anything. Carrie just watches a bunch of cat videos on YouTube, and then he just goes about his day. But you know, he's not going to listen to us, so we can make fun of him. So yeah, no, I'm really excited to see Willem Dafoe in Justice League. But speaking of casting in superhero movies, now Wes and I have not seen Civil War. So we can speculate, but we don't really know what's going to happen in the movie. The last piece of news for this episode is that Robert Downey Jr. has just signed on to be in Spider-Man Homecoming. Now, first of all, I had to ask Wes about the title because the title is awful, and I guess Sock Hop was taken. So, first of all, before we get to that, what do you think of Spider-Man Homecoming? Yeah, Spider-Man Rob Knight. It's the shitty remake or whatever.
See, I'm not sure why they're redoing this one again, but
well, they have to reintroduce him into the universe because for the longest time Sony was in control of him. Now that Marvel and Sony are splitting it, you have to kind of rebrand it and throw it in there.
I see.
I think as a business move, this is smart. You put Robert Downey Jr. in this movie, more people are going to flock to it now. Because you're right. I could ask Wes as a casual moviegoer, and I'm kind of on that same playing field as well until I see Civil War. But I'm getting tired of seeing reboot after reboot of Spider-Man because they need to just nail it right and keep it going. This is their 3rd time they're introducing it. Now, we might watch Tom Holland in Civil War and be blown away, and we'll be like, oh, shit, we want more. So I think just with this piece of news, Robert Downey Jr. in Spider-Man is smart because I hear in the movie, this is just speculation, is that Tony is the one that does create his suit. So with this piece of news, are you kind of more excited for Spider-Man now? Are you less excited?
I am excited. Robert Downey Jr., he's my favorite, and Iron Man is my favorite. So,
really? Okay.
I know that you're Mr. Captain America.
Captain America. That's why Captain America Civil War is going to be fucking awesome. It's going to be the greatest trilogy
ever. Do you
ever.
allow call-ins on your Civil War?
I mean, you can. I'll just call you on my phone, and I'll just like put it up to the mic and then hang up on you.
It's not like a radio show.
This isn't a real show. This is something I do on YouTube. People need to realize that this isn't real, folks. No, Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, a lot of people like him. He's charismatic, and I think with think about it, he's pretty much an older Spider-Man, an older Peter Parker.
Pretty much.
He's quippy, fast one-liners. He's very sarcastic, and so is Peter Parker. So it's gonna be like, it's probably a really funny movie, actually. So, but I'm gonna be interested to see how they integrate them into the Spider-Man movies now.
I think he'll be a big draw for that movie, actually.
Yeah, no,
it would be a big draw because
you slap. Oh, listen, you slap Spider-Man on the poster in the forefront, you've already got people because Spider-Man is arguably the most popular character because he started in the '60s.
Right.
You put Robert Downey Jr. in the background, and people know that Tony Stark's gonna be in this movie. You're gonna make $1 billion.
A lot more people in.
Yeah, and Sony's gonna be very happy.
I think that's a good business move.
Yeah, no, listen, I'm really glad that Robert Downey Jr. is finally playing ball and being a good sport because. You remember that story where his contract ran out and they had to renew it for Age of Ultron, and he played hardball with them, and his agents finally squeezed $50 million out of him. And it's like,
He was the highest paid actor for several years in a row.
And listen, I get it. The third Iron Man movie alone made $1 billion. I totally get it is justified. But come on, RDJ. The Judge did not do that well. You cannot survive without this franchise, unfortunately. So just be nice. Go with it. And yes, I do believe that anytime you appear in someone's movie or do another movie, you should get a pay raise. That's how acting works. But don't ask for fucking $50 million when like Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans, when they've been doing this just as long as him, only get like 20, 25. And it's like,
well, he has been doing a little longer, and he's been around a little longer. He's of the Avengers cast. He is the established actor.
I get that. He is the main draw for the thing, but you got to keep in mind after Phase 3 and when Phase 4 starts, I hate to break this news to you guys, but Tony Stark is probably going to bite the dust in Infinity War. And so is Steve Rogers, so is Bruce Banner. I believe that whole lineup is going to be wiped out, and they're going to start over with like Black Panther, Captain Marvel and stuff, and start with their new cast. So he's not going to make it past Infinity War. So I just have him play ball up until then, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, that's a great piece of news. I
think it's great. I heard that earlier, even before you had sent me that. I read about that, and I thought it was great news.
Oh, it's awesome. So yeah, that's
even for someone that's not into superheroes such as you. I think it's great news.
Okay, so you like Deadpool. You did not like BVS. Are you looking forward to Civil War?
I am. I can't wait. I like the other Captain America movies.
You know what's really funny? Carrie does not like superhero movies. He told me the other day while we were watching Green Room, he was like, I'm looking forward to Civil War now. I'm actually excited. I was like, oh my God, Carrie has excitement for that movie? Oh God, I'm going to have a heart attack. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Civil War. You're a big X-Men fan? You looking forward to Apocalypse?
I am excited about it.
Oh shit.
Well, can you believe that?
We get 2 for 2, and he liked Deadpool, and then you like Suicide Squad. And
well, mainly Jennifer Lawrence.
Well, yes. Her in a blue skin tight outfit. Yes. So, and you're looking forward to Suicide Squad. So I haven't really talked to you about the Doctor Strange trailer. Are you looking forward to that? Did you like the teaser?
I did. Okay. I'm not a huge Benedict Cumberbatch fan, so we'll have to see. I'm kind of on. Do you
need to see another trailer?
I'm on the fence a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, because it wasn't just a teaser. It doesn't come out until November, so it's still got a long way to go. But
I'm on the fence with that because mainly I don't really. He's okay, but.
Okay, well,
we'll see.
Well, shit, I guess
it's not the comic book. Sometimes it can be the actor. In that case, it's the actor.
Okay, well, shit. This is the year for Wes in terms of superhero films, so good for him. All right, so let's move on to some trailers. Everyone, we had 4 that dropped, and all right, they are all over the place. We have an action film, we have a western, we have a biopic, and we have a thriller. This is gonna be fun. So, Wes, I'll let you start first. What do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about The Magnificent Seven.
Okay, so
you know that's a remake.
It's actually the second remake because The Magnificent Seven, the first one, is a remake of Seven Samurai.
That's true.
I know, it's crazy. Shh, don't tell anyone. I know people are going to get really angry when you say that, but it is. So, like I said, Wes is older than me. So,
Thank you for repeating that?
I have to because this is the age gap we're dealing with. I have never seen the original Magnificent Seven, but I have seen bits and pieces of Seven Samurai, and it's pretty awesome. So, have you seen the original Magnificent Seven, Seven Samurai?
I have. It's been a while, but yes, Magnificent Seven is a great movie.
Okay.
It's one of those action movies. It's directed by the same guy that did another similarly themed movie called The Great Escape, and they have some of the same actors in them: Steve McQueen and Yul Brynner, and it's great.
Awesome. So, I mean, like,
terrific action movie. So, I'm interested to see how they'll update that for this with Denzel. And
so, diving into it, did you like this teaser trailer?
I did. I liked it.
Right? I did too. It was kind of fun.
Yeah. You don't see a good Western, and I think we need one.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, my dad's a huge Western fan. So, like, he's seen a bunch of them on DirecTV, and then we saw The Hateful Eight together. He saw The Revenant and stuff, and he had no idea the Magnificent Seven was being rebooted and thrown out there. And I told him to watch the teaser trailer. He hasn't seen it yet, but I really liked it. You know what's really weird? I never thought the chemistry between Denzel, Chris Pratt, Ethan Hawke would actually like work because it's such a weird mix. But dude, it looks like they all have great chemistry.
It does.
It looks fun.
I read a story earlier, and this really has. I don't know how it's going to affect the movie, if it affects it at all, but they were talking about Denzel's facial hair in the movie because he has some unique sideburns and facial hair going on in the movie. And he said that added to his character.
Okay.
That was his idea. So we'll see.
Interesting. Yeah, no, listen, guys, it was like a minute and a half, a teaser trailer, but you can't go wrong. I mean, the cast looks great. It looks like it's fun, action-packed Western, and it's like the most legit Western to come out in quite some time. Look, let's face it, folks. Django Unchained, exploitation cinema. The Hateful Eight, that's not really a Western. That's just more of like a clue set in a cabin. And then The Revenant is more of a frontier movie. So we haven't really seen like a Western in quite some time, probably since the 3:10 to Yuma remake.
Yeah, and that was okay.
I actually kind of like that one, but that one was like, what, 2007? So like
almost 10 years.
Yeah, so it's been a while since like a legit I'm talking mainstream. Now I've realized that like, movies like Bone Tomahawk came out last year and stuff, and that was kind of like a small movie. I'm talking wide
Bone
mainstream.
Tomahawk was really more, I don't know, it was kind of it kind of combined genres.
See, that's what I'm saying. We haven't had like a legit Western in some time, but I think with the direction of Anton Fuqua, who did, Southpaw, which I fucking love, by the way, fight me on it. And he did like Training Day, and what else has he done?
He did the last Denzel movie.
The Equalizer. Okay, so yeah, Antoine Fuqua is a great director. When you watch the behind-the-scene feature of Southpaw, the guy is like dedicated. He worked out with Gyllenhaal while he was training for his boxing. He trained with them. So like, dude, come on, that's a dedicated fucking director right there. So he's gonna be great.
He's a method director.
Yeah, he is like he's fantastic. So that's the first trailer. I'll jump into the second one. Let's do Jason Bourne. All right. I've never seen any of them.
You haven't seen any of them.
This is how I'm going to shock Wes. I saved it for this specific episode. We're doing this live.
I have to carry this.
Look at his face, because now he has to basically explain his love for it and stuff. Because, listen, I've heard it's a great trilogy. I heard Legacy's whatever. But my friend Brian, I do my top 5 show with, he loves the Bourne movies.
They're great. I like them too. They're wonderful movies.
I got to tell you, this trailer, though, the first full trailer for Jason Bourne, I liked it a lot. So, kind of take me through the order. Like, do you like Identity, like Supremacy better, Ultimatum? Like, what's your like ranking? What do you think of overall on the franchise and stuff?
Well, I know that Paul Greengrass is back as director.
He did the second and third one, yeah.
The second and the third ones. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited because they did that spin-off one with Jeremy Renner.
Legacy.
Yeah. That was no good. So
you didn't like it at all?
Okay. No, it was okay. It had some decent action in it. And I like Jeremy Renner, but it's not Jason Bourne.
Okay.
It's a Jason Bourne movie without Jason Bourne because he's not in it.
What if, what's his name, Aaron Cross? Like, what if they did like a team-up movie? Would you still see it? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But I'm glad that Paul Greengrass is back with that.
Mm.
I think the second one was probably my favorite.
Okay.
Ultimatum was all of them are great, but the second one was my favorite. It just has a lot of breathless, stunning action scenes.
It's very visceral, because if you look at Paul Greengrass's shooting style, he's very kind of like a guy documentary look to it. Like when you watch Captain Phillips, it's like that kind of shaky cam a little bit. It feels like,
but it's so intense.
It's intense, yeah.
Right there,
it feels like you're in that situation. So
I remember Captain Phillips being very intense.
Oh God, that last scene,
Holy
man!
Cow.
Tom Hanks and it's crying that little bunker. With the Bourne movies, because I don't know much about the trilogy, but I do know that he does not know who he is or where he came from in the first 3. Now that he actually knows that and he knows who he is and stuff, where do you think this 5th one is going to go? Like, how do you think they're going to progress it?
I know he has a lot of backstory, so we'll have to see if it delves into any of his backstory at all.
I mean, what do you think it's going to be, though? Like, without spoiling anything for people that haven't seen the movies, it's like, is he going to get wrapped up in another espionage, or like, I don't know.
I think so. I think it's going to be another espionage plot. He's not so much. I see that Tommy Lee Jones is in it too, and I'm glad for that because I like Tommy Lee Jones. But I think it's going to be some combination of espionage and personal story that's going to be combined, like sort of like the other ones are themed. It's one reason why I like the Jason Bourne movies. It's not a whole save the world type of thing. It's more intricate plot.
Yeah. So, like I said, I don't know the plot. So,
don't either.
Oh, whoops. Okay. So let's try to guess this one. So, but like the people that are in the first three, the people that did this to him, are they still around?
I don't think so.
Okay, so
I think there's still a couple people. I noticed that there's still a couple of faces from the other movies in it. But no, Joan Allen was in a couple of movies. I don't think she's around anymore.
No, she didn't. I don't think she was listed in the cast. I just know Julia Stiles came back.
That's right. I couldn't remember her name, but I saw her, and I haven't seen her in a while.
I think she was in the last Bourne movie. So, listen, I'll check out the Bourne franchise. Just calm your tits, but I haven't gotten around to it. But this trailer makes me want to watch them. I love the kind of like the action scenes. They're so good. Every time Matt Damon punches that guy down with one punch, I'm like,
he's all buffed up again, and he's a buffed up spy.
Well, I mean, when you have a lot of free time on Mars, I mean, of course you're gonna be buffed up to your next movie. But it looks really good. It looks like the visceral action that Paul Greengrass is known for, which I'm totally sucked in. So I'm actually really curious if I should, if for some weird reason I don't get a chance to watch all three, should I still go see this one?
Absolutely. I don't think they are all kind of tied together, but at the same time, you don't have to see all of them. It's not necessary. It's not like Star Wars where you have to see them all to get an idea of what's going on.
Do you think that maybe for people that hasn't seen it, but they are really curious about the fifth one and they're probably not going to go see the original trilogy, do you think maybe in the credits or something they might kind of do like that quick little montage showing you like what has happened or something?
I wouldn't be surprised if they did that to kind of catch people up.
Yeah. Okay, I'd be cool with that. But
it's been a little while since Damon has played Jason Bourne. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, because what did Ultimate 2007? 6 or something like that? Dude, it's been a while. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. But the Jason Bourne trailer, it's pretty good, pretty solid, pretty good. All right, so let's talk about Girl on the Train. Now, Wes, would you please explain to people what this is, because it is based off of a book?
It is. I read the book, and I'm excited. I can't wait for the movie.
Okay.
It is a psychological thriller.
Without spoiling too much, what is the basic storyline?
Well, it's similar if you are a fan of Gone Girl. It's a psychological thriller with a character that is very flawed and imperfect, and maybe associated with a crime. And so it's part psychological, part whodunit, and she's trying to pick up the pieces and figure things out and what's going on, because there's been a murder, and she
witnesses a murder on the train.
She witnesses a murder, and she's trying to figure it out and what happened and putting the clues together. But she is tied to this murder somehow. And she cannot remember everything as well. Yeah.
As a person that's never read the book, I can tell you that the trailer is fucking awesome. It looks like Gone Girl 2. Exactly. I'm talking about from the way it's shot to the way it's even color coded, the way it's put together, music, acting. It looks like Gone Girl. But
I like Emily Blunt.
Oh, Emily Blunt's great. I'm
Too
also
bad she had to do the Huntsman. Did you see that?
No, but we'll get into that when we get to the box office results for sure. Who else is Rebecca Ferguson's in this, right?
That's right.
The chick from Rogue Nation.
Justin Theroux is in it.
Oh, Justin Theroux is awesome. Like Justin Theroux is the type of guy to where when he pops up, he's great, but he's always like in those weird obscure movies. Like he's in like in every David Lynch movie, and it's like Justin.
But he writes as well. He writes and directs.
Oh yeah, he co-wrote one of my favorite comedies, Tropic Thunder, with Mr. Ben Stiller. It's great. So with Girl on the Train, I love the tone. I love the atmosphere. It looks like the coolest little murder mystery. Emily Blunt looks really great. Everyone is it's firing on all cylinders. It looks awesome. It looks like this year's Gone Girl.
Yeah, I think so. And a lot of people, there are some people that I talked to that didn't like Gone Girl, but I loved it. I thought it was great. I had read the book as well, and that's why I read Girl on the Train. It reminded me a lot of Gone Girl. Like you said, it looks like Gone Girl 2, just the way
it's
it was
amazing.
Shot.
Yeah, just the way it was shot. So whoever watched Gone Girl that did Girl on the Train, they were just like, okay, David Fincher does harsh shadows and a yellow tint. It's like they took down like excessive notes. So since you like Gone Girl, where does that rank in David Fincher for you? So if you had to do a top 3 Fincher films, what are they?
I have to think of what his films are, but
okay. So let me throw them at him. Fight Club, Panic Room, Zodiac, Gone Girl, Case of Benjamin Button, Social Network.
Social Network is top for me for him.
Look at that, man.
Definitely, and I think that probably should have won Best Picture that year. Absolutely, it's a very relevant film.
As someone that's not a millennial, he went with the movie that
Can you believe that?
That's amazing. No, Social
I
Network.
love the Social. I love
it's amazing.
It's amazing, and just how it's shot and technically, it was just he did an incredible job with
it was great. That was one of my favorites of 2010 for sure, and whatnot. I know we got carried away, but Girl on the Train looks really great. It looks like a David Fincher film. I'm totally down for that. Can you believe that Gone Girl came out 2 years ago?
That's hard to believe. It's been 2 years in October.
That's
been a year and a half. That's hard to believe.
That's nuts, man. Like fucking 2014. What was your favorite film in 2014? If it's not Whiplash, then he's an idiot.
It is Whiplash.
Okay, there you go. So
it is.
No, Whiplash is fucking phenomenal. You know what's really funny? I actually that whole top line over there, the top rack, I had Whiplash, Gone Girl, Nightcrawler, Birdman, and Boyhood. Like my top 5 favorite of 2014. They all came out the same year. Like if Whiplash was non-existent, I might have to go with Gone Girl. I liked it that much. It was really good.
It was overlooked at the Oscars, though.
Oh, yeah. And
definitely.
I think Rosamund Pike deserved that nomination, but let's face it, Batfleck killed it in that movie. And that was just kind of like his reintroduction to society going, hey, I'm a pretty good actor under someone else's direction. Not my own, but someone else's.
With the right material, he could be a great actor.
Oh, yeah. No, Ben Affleck's always been great.
He's better director than actor, I will say, but he can be a good actor.
You know what's really funny is that I think he's a fantastic director. He's a pretty good actor. Casey Affleck is the opposite. He's a fantastic actor. Like everything else.
So director, yeah.
Yeah, because he did direct a couple of movies, but they're whatever. But yeah, Casey Affleck's definitely like the actor in the family. But they're both really good. But we got carried off, but that's okay because I haven't had a guest in like 3 months. So I hope you guys are enjoying this. All right, so in the last trailer before we get into our main topic, the main course of the episode, The Founder. Now, this is the movie starring Michael Keaton, directed by John Lee Hancock, who directed The Blind Side. And this movie tells the story of Michael Keaton's character where he basically stole the idea from McDonald's and he ran it.
That's right.
The trailer is awesome. The whole time you're kind of thinking to yourself, holy shit, do I root for this guy or do I not? Like, he's kind of a prick. So I don't know. What did you think about the trailer?
I like the trailer.
It was great, right?
I think it's going to be great. It comes out later this year. Is it correct?
Oscar season. Come on. Yeah.
Yeah, he directed Saving Mr. Banks.
Yeah, which was also really great.
It was really good. It was really good. So, yeah, I think Michael Keaton, I know, will be great in the movie. I'm not a huge fan of John Lee Hancock, who directs the movie.
But, I mean, he did okay with Saving Mr. Banks, but I thought it could have been better. I thought Saving Mr. Banks was great. And you know what's really funny about that movie? Emma Thompson was not the best. Tom Hanks was not the best. Colin Farrell was the best.
Yeah, I agree.
He gave like an Oscar-worthy performance for Best Supporting Actor, and no one looked at him. It's fucking crazy. But and Blindside's a different story. The Blindside, I think, is a pretty good movie, but I don't think Sandra Bullock should have won. But whatever. But as far as this goes, I think it looks like a really interesting biopic where I think as an audience member, you're going to be conflicted on whether you like the guy or whether you don't, because he does steal this idea and he runs with it. So I'm actually really curious to see how the film plays out because, we're supposed to sit there and go, "Wow, this guy's pretty fucking awful."
Eating a lot of hamburgers.
Exactly right. So, no, The Founder looks really great. It could be, I think, my top 5 anticipated for the rest of the year.
I think the whole McDonald's connection is going to draw people to that.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm actually really curious. How do you think McDonald's signed off on this?
I was going to ask you if you knew anything about that.
I don't, because
they gave any authorization for it,
because
agreed to. So I know there's a lot of copyrights and all of that.
Well, I mean, you have to go through a legal thing with any type of movie with that regard. But when your movie's focused around McDonald's, I'm sure they had extensive.
Because they are a giant.
Oh, I'm sure they actually had to approve the script before it even got greenlit or whatever.
Well, Disney had some sort of input with Saving Mr. Banks too.
Yeah. But then again, they actually own the rights to Mary Poppins after that long battle with P.L. Travers, so they can pretty much do whatever they want. This one's going to be interesting, though, because unless like someone associated with McDonald's produced it, I can't really see.
And I think it will depend upon, is it going to put McDonald's in a bad light
or a good light? Because if they put them in a good light, then you're kind of taking away from the impact of the movie. Because, like I said, this was a guy that stole the idea from McDonald's. He stole it. He fucking stole it. And we're supposed to sit there and go, yeah, that guy, he did some good stuff. He did a good deed. It's like, no, he didn't. So I don't know, but I am really looking forward to the movie.
Well, they say the best ideas are borrowed or stolen.
Yeah, well, that is true. But no, I think with the curiosity of how they're going to portray the conflict between the main character and how we're supposed to feel is what's intriguing me. Because I'm actually curious. Like, are you going to make him painted out like a bad guy the entire time, or like a little bit, or like I have no clue. But
and again, we don't know what McDonald's involvement in it.
Yeah.
Because how this makes them look. That they're saying essentially McDonald's is founded on a stolen idea,
which is incredible, and people still run with it.
But I don't think it's really going to impact their sales much.
No, it's not. So I have to ask you this. It's not too far of a crazy question, but like Michael Keaton has been in 2 Best Picture winners in a row. If The Founder is good, do you think it could have a shot?
It might. You never know.
That's crazy. Can you imagine if he would 3 years in a row go up on stage and be like, I was in the Best Picture? It's like, Jesus, like he goes into hiding.
He'd be like Emmanuel Lubezki 3 years in a row.
Right? Hey, I called that, by the way. I even told
you said that.
I said that. I fucking tweeted it. So that tweet was there 4 months prior.
You said that well before that. I remember you saying that.
Before the nominations. I was like, dude, listen, he was going to get his first, Inarritu was going to get his second, and Lubezki was going to get his third. And people looked at me fucking crazy like, they're not going to give Inarritu the second in a row. I was like, you just fucking watch. They're going to do it. Boom. I was right. Those are the only 3 I got right. Well, I actually got a few more right, but I did really shitty at the this year's Oscars. But yeah, The Founder looks really great. I can't wait to see it. So with that being said, guys, let's jump into the main topic. That is my name. That is not the correct letter. So the main topic, the main course, if you will. This is the reason why I brought Wes on. It was only for this section. For the first 47 minutes, his point wasn't invalid. So
the only reason I'm here, I told him, was for the snacks. I don't see any around here.
I blackmailed him. I caught him renting Baby Geniuses 2 at a video rental store.
Don't tell anybody.
Well, fuck, man. Now everyone knows. If you guys want the pictures, just let me know. $5 per picture.
Now, how many of those are Alvin and the Chickmunks over there in your collection?
Alvin and the Fuck Monks, or Alvin and the Shit Monks, whatever you want to call them. They're terrible movies. God, these fucking movies. All right, so the main topic is that we're going to talk about the Dallas International Film Festival of 2016. This is my 3rd year covering. What is this for you?
I've covered all of them. I've been at all 10.
Okay,
the very beginning.
Wow, damn. Okay, so
you were still in high school then, weren't you?
Yes, I was. I was. 2016, 10 years ago. Yeah, I was a sophomore in high school.
It was 2007 was the first one, so it's
junior in high school. But still, like that's crazy. So Wes has been through a shit ton of them. So the way we'll go about this is we'll kind of just talk about the festival overall, and you can tell me where it kind of ranks within the 10, and we'll talk about some movies that we watched. So for me personally, I thought it was an okay festival in terms of the lineup. Like some of the movies were good, some of them were bad, some of them were whatever. I actually prefer. I think the first year I went, it was whatever year I saw the Congress, because that like lineup was fantastic. I saw like a bunch in a row, but this one was okay. So
I agree.
So out of the 10 that you've been to, because Wes has been to all of them, like where does this kind of fall for you? Like how did you
fall? Probably somewhere in the middle.
That's so bad. Like
middle to lower, but I know it's been hard for the festival because initially the first 2 or 3 years, I think, they were sponsored by AFI, which is the American Film Institute. It was part of the AFI. So
were they not sponsored by it this year?
They haven't been since 2009 or 10. But AFI, of course, has deep pockets, and they have a lot of money in to help sponsor the festival. And so just the nature of that has changed and what the lineups they have and what they can offer and the people they bring in. So it just changes it. And I agree, just with the overall lineup was okay.
Yeah.
The last couple of years have been okay. The last year and this year they were okay.
Yeah, last year and this year were definitely just okay. Because like I said, my first ever year when like I said, the fucking Congress. I love that movie so much. But yeah, this year was just okay. And I saw 11 movies, and I gotta tell you,
it seemed heavily weighted toward documentaries.
But so was last year. Last year was extremely heavy towards documentaries. So, how many movies did you see total?
Ended up, I think it was a dozen. 12 or 13.
Okay, so I saw 11, so we saw about the same amount. Yeah. So you guys have to keep in mind, because there's one lady there that literally sees every fucking movie, and she goes, "I'm on my 30th day," and I tell her, I can only do about 11 or 12 because you gotta keep in mind we still have to go home and write about it. So
and work, we have full-time jobs.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I took a vacation.
I took a couple of days.
It still took me a while. Like I did 5 in a row. It took me 26 hours to do. Like, it's crazy. Like, and people have to realize that I have to film it through my video cam, and I have to write about it. So I have to do 2 separate ones for each movie. It's a lot of work. So there might be a day where I have to like take off from the festival just to catch up on my reviews. And I actually did catch up. I was I never fell behind. Each day I had the ones from the day prior. So I did pretty well. So have you been to other film festivals? And if you have, where does Diff rank for you?
I have not, and I know you have. It's crazy.
Wow.
Some are just either travel or cost prohibitive as far as it's going.
Okay,
I would love to be able to do that and go.
So here's what's going to happen. Wes is going to take a whole week off for Fantastic Fest, where he's going to split the gas with me. And he's going to come down with me because
I'll do it. Let's do it.
Fantastic Fest is fucking awesome. Like,
where's it at?
You see there's my press badge right there on the top right here.
Right here.
Yeah. It's got a different face on it because the guy that was supposed to go, the other guy right for it, he couldn't go. So when I picked up my badge, he switched the name, but not the picture. So there's like, this isn't you. I was like, don't worry, it's my name though. So there's Fantastic Fest. That over there's my South by one from this year, and then there's a Diff one. But
that's awesome.
Yeah,
I've always wanted to go to South by.
South by was great. I to be honest with you, South by is fun. Diff is fun.
It's crazy. I know it's very crowded. There's tons of people, but
it's ridiculous.
I wouldn't mind that. I want to go at least once to experience, and I will eventually.
You need to. But I think if you want to have like a total party fest, Fantastic Fest, because they're all genre films. So
where are they? Where's that at?
They're both in Austin.
They're awesome. Very
yeah.
Good. I'll go.
Yeah, it's not that bad. It's a 3-hour drive for us. But
when is the Fantastic Fest this year?
September. So it's not bad. Like South by is in March, Diff is usually in April, and Fantastic last year was in September. And I saw
you saw some films early. Then.
I saw like The Witch there. So I saw like 6 months prior. Yeah. So it just they have a bunch of foreign films and a bunch of genre films, like I said, and it's just a really fun festival. But I gotta be honest, like Diff is fine. It's fun. It's nice for us because it's local and we don't have to drive that far. But
the rumor is, I heard that there were some rumors this year, and of course this can't be confirmed by any means, but that this may be the last year for it.
Last year for Diff?
For Diff.
Wow.
It may not be. It could come back in another form. I don't know, but
that's crazy.
Just because it hasn't been that well attended.
And to be honest with you, I really wouldn't miss it. Like I said, I enjoy the Austin ones way more. It's a nice little vacation. Go down, and they the Fantastic Fest usually has it at their Alamo Draft House. That's what's great about Fantastic Fest. Not so much for South by. Fantastic Fest is convenient because it's all at the Draft House, and it's actually different because like for Diff, what we do is we look at a schedule and we'll go attend the movies. We have to stand in line and stuff. For Fantastic Fest, you have to actually log in to a portal. You have to show which movies you want for your first, second, and third choice for that time frame, and whatever you get, you're gonna get type of deal. If you don't get what your first pick, it's exhilarating. Like I said, a lot of fun. When I was walking out of a theater, I saw this like really short, kind of skinny guy. I was like, he's got like the body frame of Elijah Wood. I walk around in front. It was Elijah Wood in a fucking Santa cap. It was great. So Fantastic Fest. It's so much fun. You're at the draft house. Everyone's just having a good time. And
see, that was the first 3 years of Diff were great because of the AFI connection.
Yeah.
And they had a lot of people in, a lot of big names. Robert De Niro, Charlize Theron.
Yeah, because
for Catherine Bigelow and Jeremy Renner were here for the Hurt Locker, but well before it came out. I remember that year, that was 2009, but there were a lot of huge names, and that's what Diff has been lacking in as far as compared to these other festivals.
Yeah.
And I think plus I think it would be great. There were 2 or 3 years that had like a party atmosphere to it, and it was great. And now it seems very tame.
Yeah, and listen, like, because this was the 10th annual Dallas Film Festival, and they actually had like some like highlight reels of like the past years and stuff. And Wes is right. You look at this highlight reels, it's like, dude, they had like fucking fun 10 years ago. Now it's just kind of like you go to the movie, you go home, you don't really care about anything else afterwards.
And and even like I said, with what they offer, I remember, we have press passes to get in, and there are people that have star passes, and even now they have this lounge where you can go to, and they'll serve food and liquor there. But now even that has kind of dropped off considerably from what they used to offer. Like, it used to be a huge, big party, but now it's not as much.
It's just, I don't know. Like,
and I don't like to diss the local festival. They put on it's a great time. And
I do like it.
And it is fun. There are some decent films, and but I think they could really amp up their game. And I think it could be just a lack of funds.
Once you pop Wes's like South by Southwest or Fantastic Fest cherry, he's gonna be like, I just want to go to those from now on type of deal.
Right.
And I don't know, it's fun because like for this year at South by, I saw Everybody Wants Some. I saw a Richard Linklater documentary. I saw a cool Ethan Hawke film. I saw Keanu. That was the world premiere. The world premiere of Sausage Party was there. South by Southwest is like a party thing. It's just like Fantastic Fest. It's just,
and that's the way the festival should
be.
It's part, you're celebrating new films. And
the thing is with Diff, it's like, it's not like we're like in some small ass town. It's fucking Dallas, Texas. We're one of the biggest like film conglomerates in the country. And you figure with that type of pool, you would want your film to be there. You would want bigger films to be there. Like, like in the past few years, we had movies like Joe or.
I agree with you. I think that's the challenge with the Diff Festival,
because it is smaller. Unfortunately,
it is smaller, and I think they just lack some of the things that the other ones do. South by Southwest, Sundance, Toronto. I think those are
the major ones.
Those are the major festivals, and when you think, hey, Dallas Film Festival, it doesn't come up. It doesn't really register as the top festival. And I think they have a little ways to go.
Well, because like there was someone that commented on one of my videos on my page, and they said, I didn't even know Diff was starting. And they're Texas native, so like they go to it all the time. They said they didn't even know it was starting. So that just shows you the lack of interest that people have for it. And listen, Diff is a great festival. I love going every single year, but I got to be honest, I'm going to keep it 100 in here. The ones in Austin are pretty banging, so step up your game.
I agree. Definitely.
So with that being said, you're going to go to a South by or Fantastic Fest one.
I will.
You're going to have so much fun.
Mark my word. It's noted here.
If you can get a fucking press badge, you're coming with me in September.
Yes, I'll absolutely.
Please split the gas.
Tell me how to apply for that, and I'll be glad to.
Well, the other website I write for, he's the one that gets me the pass, so I can ask him and be like, "What's the process?" Yeah, I'm sure it's just someone you contact and be like, "Hey, can I do this?" And you just send them the info, kind of like what we do for this one. But no, Diff this year was okay. So with that being said, since we are, we rambled on long enough, but guys, listen, I haven't had a guest in here for a long time, so just chill.
He's a loner.
I am a loner, but that's besides the point. So let's talk about some movies that we did see. Now I have my YouTube list pulled up here, and I saw 11 films. Like I said, all of them are on my channel, and you can watch them in depth. I'm just going to kind of give you like
a lot of these movies had already premiered at other festivals.
Yeah, exactly. So first I'll start with Wes. So let's start with some of the best ones, some of the great ones that you saw. Just start spouting them out. And, if I saw them with you or whatever, we can talk about them, or just however you want to do this. Just start telling me like some of the ones that just kind of blew you away.
There were 2 documentaries I think that really stuck out for me. One was Tower, which I saw yesterday.
Yes.
And I know you reviewed that.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent movie. I know I had already heard about it. It was getting buzzed at South by and some other festivals. It's incredible. It's just very well done. And I think it gives a different perspective to the tower shootings at University of Texas.
Yeah.
At Austin. Almost 50 years ago.
And I think that fucking law goes into effect on it's stupid. What we're talking about is the movie focuses on basically like the first mass shooting ever recorded, right, in this country.
That's right.
It
was the worst mass shooting for many years.
Many years. And like what was like 23 people died or something like that. It was crazy. And so the way the documentary was told was so unique and so fresh, and it was half animated, and
I wasn't sure how I would like that at first.
Oh, it's great! It plays out like a movie,
right? And then it plays out really like a movie, and then of course they start introducing the real folks, and then it becomes really compelling.
Yeah, no, but like the animation, it kind of adds, like the director was saying. When young kids try to watch documentary, people my age, millennials, they get bored. But if you have it animated, it's kind of like got that eye candy appeal to it, and I think that's very smart. And
absolutely.
The way it was told was like watching a fucking movie. It was action packed. It was gripping. I was like, holy shit! I keep forgetting that this was a real thing that happened. It played out like a movie. So, Tower is a great one. That is by far my favorite festival of the year so far. I gave it an A+. It is in my top 10 so far. You guys need to see Tower whenever the hell it comes out near you. Please go see it. And mark my words, Wes. We're recording this right now on April 24th. Next year, literally almost a year from now, Tower is going to win Best Documentary at the Oscars.
I think it'll certainly be nominated.
Oh, yeah, I think it's going to win.
I don't know. Is it getting a wide release? I didn't see that.
I think the guy said that it might go limited and then go straight to Netflix. So, I don't know. We'll see. I hope it gets some recognition because it definitely needs to.
Absolutely.
So, Tower for sure.
See it, please.
Yeah. If I had to pick my favorite documentary of the festival, it is Tower. Nothing else. I mean, another one I really liked was The Bad Kids. That was a great documentary about kids that go to this school in California. And it's kind of like a school for dropouts, that kids that like dropped out from other schools or whatever. They go to that school to kind of get their GED or whatever. And that was a really great one. But The Tower is the best documentary for sure. So that's a great one. So what's another great one that you saw?
It was another documentary that was Texas related. It's called Until Proven Innocent.
Okay, I didn't see that one. So explain that one to people.
Also won the Texas jury, one of the jury awards. And it's interesting because there's a connection with both of the Tower and with because they're both Texas related Until Proven Innocent. But both of these were based on articles written by the same author in Texas Monthly.
No way.
Pamela Koloff is her name.
Nice.
But she wrote the article that Tower is based upon, and she wrote the article that Until Proven Innocent is based on. And it's a very, very compelling story. I'm not sure it's going to get a wide release, but it's based on the true story of Hannah Overton. And she was in the process of adopting a child, and she had a foster child, and he died under her care.
Oh, damn.
And she was convicted of murder.
Oh.
But came out later that just there were problems with the trial itself, and they basically exonerated her. So she is gone. She's free. And they said there were so many problems, and they found that she was innocent.
Wow, that's crazy.
That the boy had some problems. He had some, because he had been moved around, he had some mental problems.
Yeah.
They think that he could have ingested it earlier in the day that it happened. And but she still has she has 5 other kids, real of her own, and she spent about 10 years in prison, but she was released. And it's great.
Wow.
Very powerful, very compelling, very well told.
Wow. Well, I guess Wes sold me on that one.
You have to see it.
I kind of missed
it. If you liked Tower, you would like this. Of course, it's not animated, but it's a great story. Okay.
Yeah. So check out that one as well. But I think we both agree that like Tower is the top one.
Absolutely,
for sure.
Yes.
So we kind of dabbled in documentaries a little bit, some great ones. What are some other great narrative features that you saw?
Well, Sing Street
was great
there, and
I saw it at South by.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, I recommend it. Like if you scroll down,
that's movie that has music from my era. Can you believe that?
I know.
It's classic.
A movie that Wes can relate to. It shocker, but no, that was part of my South by Southwest lineup, and that was actually the first one I saw at South by, and I was blown away. I think it's in my top 10 right now. It's charming.
Definitely a crowd pleaser.
I know.
Even
it's very uplifting.
That's right. And it has a lot of 80s music, but it has a lot of original tunes that are great.
Yeah, no.
By the guy that did the movie Once
and Begin Again.
That's right.
Both of which I did not see, by the way. Sing Street was my first introduction.
You have not seen those?
No.
See them. You need to.
Sing Street would
be in your collection over here, I think.
Of course not, because if you look around my collection, I got a bunch of like exploitation films, like gory films, and
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Alvin and the Chipmunks is actually near the trash can, so there's that. But no, like Sing Street was really good, so I recommended that to people when we were starting Diff. I was like, there was like I don't know what to say. I was like, Sing Street, see Sing Street, please. So
highly recommend it, and it's already in limited release.
Yeah, it's in limited release right now. But yeah, Sing Street is fantastic. Another one I really liked. I'm looking through my list right here. For my narrative ones that I really liked, it's actually a 3-way tie. I really liked Other People, Transpeco. Carrie was like telling me like a different pronunciation. He's like Transpeco. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Anyways, Transpeco, whatever.
It won the jury award too.
It won the audience award in South by. That's why
I won here too.
That's why I wanted to see it, because it won really big down in Austin. I was like, oh shit, I should probably check it out. So that one, and then Deepen. I really like Deepen a lot. So those would be my 3 favorite ones. So just to go down them really quick. Other People, it's a really great, intimate, kind of human tale about a guy going home to take care of his mother while she has cancer and stuff. It's really, the acting in it is so astounding. It'll kind of just make you just be in awe that Molly Shannon can deliver an Oscar-worthy performance. It is just that good. Jesse Plemons is also in it.
I missed it. I really want to see it.
It's really amazing. If that movie doesn't win any, or at least get nominated for anything, I will be pissed. I think that one does come out limited release in September, and he said Netflix in November. So fall time for that one. Transpeco, whatever you want to call it, really great kind of tight thriller in the desert. It's kind of like this mystery. You don't know what's going on, but it's all taking place in that desert with 3 different guys. It's really great, really good nail-biting thriller. It's really great. And then Deepen is a really great film. It's a foreign film about a guy that was a freedom fighter in Sri Lanka, and he basically takes this woman and this child with him to Europe and France and tries to start like a fake family and make sure he doesn't get deported back and stuff. And it's a pretty interesting tale about a guy that ultimately cares about these 2 strangers, and they kind of become this dysfunctional family.
Is it a foreign movie?
Foreign film, yeah. So subtitles. But I mean, I really liked it. So those would be my 3 favorite ones in terms of like narratives and stuff. So what about you? What's another narrative that you really just loved? Or was Sing Street it, basically?
Sing Street was it. I saw...
wow, so Wes was not joking when he said that this was kind of like a so-so year.
It was a so-so year.
Wow.
I saw, I think we saw Occupy Texas together, and that was...
Okay,
I didn't see your review on it, but...
We'll get into the negatives in this portion just in a little bit. I did not like it. So there's that one.
I didn't care for it much either. And,
well, what about some of the ones that were just kind of like so-so, or kind of like just okay?
I saw, I don't know, did you see Mr. Pig?
No.
With Danny Glover?
Was that good?
It was okay. It was okay. It was...
Risa really liked it.
I liked
told me
it.
to check it out.
It wasn't great. It was directed by
Diego Luna.
Who
was there, by the way, and he was. I remember when he was there were crowds of people, and I was like, what was playing in that theater? I looked up Mr. Pig, Diego Luna, Star Wars Rogue One. That's why. That's why he had a bunch of people around him, because he's going to be in the Star Wars movie now. So, Mr.
It was okay.
Okay.
I liked because it's more of about a father and daughter trying to reconnect. And his daughter is played by the always wonderful Maya Rudolph.
Nice.
She did a great job in it. I thought the movie's a little downbeat. It was okay.
Maya Rudolph is very interesting because
it's a serious part for her. It's not a comedic role,
which is great because one of my favorite directors of all time is Paul Thomas Anderson, and they have 3 kids together.
That's right.
It's so weird.
That's great. I think that's great.
It's such a weird pairing. It's like
she has appearances in some of his movies, right?
I believe she was in Inherent Vice. I think
she was in The Master. I think she had a small part in The Master.
Did she?
Well, she did.
Damn, I did not remember that. But
we digress here. But yeah, she.
No, it's just really it's weird because when you think of Paul Thomas Anderson, he's a very serious director. His films are so magnificent, and then he's got children with an SNL alum. It's so
that's right. That's right.
Like, how did that work? Like, Paul was just like, yeah, I think that chick looks really great. And Maya was just super outlandish and stuff. And it's like, how did that even come together and work? But
maybe it's one of those opposites attract type of things.
I guess so. But hey, more power to you, Paul.
She can act dramatically as well, so
which is great because it's kind of like with Molly Shannon and other people where it was like, holy shit!
And I can't wait to see that because I'm
telling you,
I love
Molly Shannon and Jesse Plemons. Their acting is so good. You're gonna be like the movie's super simple. It's just a guy taking care of his mother with cancer, but the acting is so good. It kind of blows you away. But another movie that's kind of so-so for me. I'm looking at my list. White Girl. I thought that was okay. There was a lot
I wanted to see that, and I didn't.
It's basically just a girl having fun, having sex, doing drugs with a drug dealer.
I think I saw where it was picked up for distribution.
The director was there, and she said Netflix in September or something like that. The thing is with the movie, it touches upon racial issues in the judicial system and how a white guy could kill someone, walk away scot-free, but then a black guy will have an ounce of marijuana on him and get 20 years type of deal. They touched on that, but that was it. I just thought for the most part, it was just a girl having fun and partying. And there's really no kind of motive for me to even care.
To the story.
No, and even when the hook came, she worked her ass off to take care of the problem, but then at the end of the movie, it didn't really matter. I was like, come on. So I gave it a C, so it was down the middle for me. Another one that was down the middle, A Tale of Love and Darkness, the Natalie Portman movie.
I heard that was good.
It was okay. I mean, the story was fine, and it was very fragmented because it is told from the kid's perspective because he's older now and he tells it as a youth. And the thing is with the movie is her character is she's very moody, and it's Natalie Portman, you don't have to be that moody and stuff, and she's basically moody because it was not the life that she pictured. And I totally get that, but at the same time, it's you can liven up a little bit. I don't know. It was compared to
directed it. So.
Yeah. So I will say for her first directorial debut, that was pretty good. It was good. I want to see more from her. But as far as out of the 11 I saw, it doesn't even come close to at the top. So that's another one that was okay. Looking through them. Slash was the other kind of okay movie for me, about this kid that writes fan fiction or whatever, erotic fan fiction, and it was okay. It was kind of had a nice little charming feel to it, a lot of heart. It was a relationship between this kid and this girl from high school. They both write fan fiction. They kind of bonded that way. It was okay. I mean, it was fun. It was charming or whatever, but it was just whatever. So let's get into some bad ones that we saw.
It's easier to kind of.
I'm assuming Wes is going to have more because I only have 2 of them. So Wes, we'll start with you. What are some of the ones that you were just why did they even pick this one?
Yeah, I saw a documentary award winner yesterday called The Pearl, and the story was really good. I can see the subject matter was.
What is it about?
It's about actually 4 middle-aged transgender men.
Okay, that seems pretty compelling. So this is a pretty relevant topic of today.
It's a very relevant topic.
So what didn't work for you then?
It was just it wasn't very well told or very well. I don't know. It was just very uneven, and for a while I had trouble with some of the characters because I thought that they were the same person, but they were different characters.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not. It was just very uneven, some of it's very abstract and very slow. But I thought that they could have delved into more different issues associated with these men.
Okay, because you know how in a documentary they need to like show kind of both sides of the coin, and
they don't here.
Okay, so what is it? Is it just basically following their journey? I guess.
It follows their journey now, and it doesn't really focus a lot on where they were before.
Okay, so it doesn't show their
before and after.
It doesn't show their past life. It just shows where they're at now.
Where they're at now.
Okay, I can kind of see where that can kind of be irritating. Because it's like, okay, we get it. We see what they're at in their present, but I kind of want to know what their lives were like in the past. And
That's
stuff.
right.
Okay.
Why it doesn't really explain a lot of motivation as far as why they were making the change and the transition over.
So they never once said in the movie like why they wanted to be a transgender.
They didn't go into a lot of explanation with it. No, they don't.
Okay, because hey, listen, we don't have to get into politics here, but or religious beliefs or whatnot. But as a movie, you're just being honest, and like it just wasn't. It was kind of choppy and wasn't told well.
That's right.
Yeah,
I agree.
Because that's the thing with movies, you have to set aside your beliefs or whatever before you go to any movie, and you review it as a movie.
That's right, and you have to have an open mind with it. And some of it was interesting, and I didn't realize that because it shows them. A couple of them go into workshops to teach them how to speak and to talk and dress and walk.
Oh, okay.
And I thought some of that
was interesting.
Always more interesting part, but the personal stories weren't real well told. I thought it could have been benefited from better storytelling.
Okay. Hey, listen, it's his opinion. I can't really argue with that because I'm about to tear one of these movies. I'm going to talk about another asshole, but what's another one that you just didn't really care for?
See, we mentioned Mr. Pig.
Yes.
I saw one that I was really disappointed in because it was really built up. It was called Operation Avalanche.
What is that one about?
It's basically a fake documentary, and the premise of it is they're faking the moon landing. It's not.
So it's a mockumentary.
Sort of, yes.
Okay. Is it like what didn't work for you?
Well, they started out with one angle of it, and then they moved to a different angle.
So basically, you were fine with them staying on that one angle, but once they went off the path, you're like, ugh.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to buy into, even being a fake documentary.
Okay.
So it didn't. I don't know. It just had some tonal problems, and so it was a disappointment, really. And I think talking with a lot of people who saw it, they were also disappointed because the premise of it, and they really built it up. And the directors of it directed a movie that did really well at the festival a couple of years ago called The Dirties. And I think I saw that movie. I don't remember that.
Okay, so what's another one that just didn't work for you?
Occupy Texas.
Oh, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so I did not like this movie whatsoever. However, it is not the worst one because I'm going to end this section with that movie. But as far as Occupy Texas goes, it is a film made in Texas. So
it's shot here in Dallas.
It is shot in Dallas, and it's very amateur. And I think that's my main issue with it. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I have a bachelor's in filmmaking. I realize I am not the best filmmaker in the world because obviously I'm doing this now because I failed at it. But here's the deal. When you have a movie presented in front of me and it looks maybe just a hair better than my senior thesis film, that's a problem. The acting was stale. It was wooden. I could not fucking stand some of the dramatic scenes. It was kind of really hard to watch.
It just felt really flat.
It was very flat. And
I agree.
I don't hate the people as actors. I just their performances are so bad. And Laura Leigh Linklater, the chick from Boyhood, when you watch Occupy Texas, you kind of want to go, probably shouldn't act anymore.
Right, yeah. It was baffling, really.
It was just bad. And there'd be like moments where like stuff would happen and it would never be addressed again. Like for instance, the movie opens up. This is not a spoiler. He's just sitting on the sidewalk. His uncle comes up and goes, "You should head home." and then the uncle's never seen again. And it's like you couldn't at least call him or something. I don't know. There was stuff like that would happen. The story was just, I was not emotionally invested because the acting was so stale. It was so basic. There was nothing to it, and it was just very amateurish. And I hate to say that because then people will fire back at me and be like, why don't you fucking make one? I would love to. Give me some fucking money. I will go make a movie. I've made plenty of short films in a feature length, and they all suck ass, but
I know that they did the Q&A afterwards, and I realize, like you said, it's not easy making a movie.
It's not.
It's a labor of love, and there's a lot that goes into it that we don't even realize.
And I'll give them props because I know how hard it is to make a movie. I've been in that situation before, and I can see that they were passionate about it. That's fine. But if we're going to review it as a movie, it's not that good.
It really was.
It's not. I think the biggest cardinal rule against that movie is that it's not emotionally invested. So you're sitting there for an hour and a half going, I don't care. I don't give two flying shits what happens to these people or like what's going on. Like, for instance,
I think it didn't really explain a lot of the connection and why he would want to stay. The premise of the movie.
Well, because
he would want to stay anyway. But
he comes back to his parents' home because his parents have died. He has to take care of his sisters. That's the main plot thread throughout this movie. I didn't feel like they lost their parents. I felt like they lost a dog or something. They're just like, they didn't really care. I realize that people grieve in different ways. I totally get that. But it looked like no one gave two shits about their parents. And it's like, I don't know. Didn't care for it. So I'm going to go to you. If you don't have any more, I'm about to go into my rant right now. So is there like another movie that you didn't really care for, or is that pretty much it?
I saw another, of course, I saw many documentaries. One is called The Anthropologist, and it was okay.
I had that listed, and I was supposed to go to it, but I was like, I'll skip it.
I know. We missed you there.
Okay. Well, apparently I did not miss anything, so that's
much.
Good. So is that pretty much it for you?
There was another documentary I saw, but I liked it. It's called Life Animated.
Oh, okay.
Did you see that?
No, that was the very first one that Wes saw of the festival because I was going to go see it, but I didn't get off of work in time. So tell people what it's about and just like your overall thoughts on it.
It's a great movie. It's very touching. It's a documentary about an autistic boy who connects and emotionally to Disney animated films. And so that's how he actually started communicating, because for a while he wasn't communicating at all.
It kind of reminds me of the Wolfpack from last year, where how they watch movies because they were so secluded in their apartment. That's all they knew from the outside world, and that's how they talk to people. That's how they communicate with their parents, or when they did go out in the streets, that's what they did. So
it's about him transitioning. He's in his 20s now, and he's transitioning sort of to the real world. He's on his own. He has his own apartment, and so he's just trying to relate to the world after so much Disney.
Yeah.
So the best part of it was a cameo from Gilbert Gottfried.
Oh, nice. Yeah, no,
very nice.
It sounds like a pretty good.
Very touching. I don't know if it's going to get a wide release, but
we'll see. But it sounds like a pretty compelling one to where like I feel like they would miss their opportunity if they didn't put it in theaters. So yeah, it sounds like a pretty great one. So are you ready for me to rip it? Okay, so Occupy Texas was pretty bad. Not as bad as High Rise. Wes, did you even want to see this movie?
I did want to see that.
Okay,
I like Tom Hiddleston.
Don't. Okay, so here's the problem with this fucking movie. It is pretentious. I hate using that word because a lot of people will say like David Lynch is pretentious, Nicholas Winding Refn is pretentious. I don't think so, but this one, the story is so simple. It's just basically kind of like a hierarchy system inside of an apartment complex, essentially. The rich live at the top, poor live at the bottom. You get it. All it is just social class warfare for 2 hours. So that's the first strike. It is long as fuck. Trim that shit down. Second thing, it is pretentious. When the movie starts, the music is blaring, and it's like you can tell that movie is so far up its own ass because the music is playing. You're like, oh wow, can we like tone that down a little bit? And the music is throughout the entire movie, and I'm like, can we please calm that shit? Like, please, you are not that important. Third, it is choppy as shit. You will see it will go from this point, then it'll go to another point, then it'll go to a third point, and then go back to the first point, then go to a fourth point, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? So it is super messy, and there's some stuff that doesn't really make any sense. Character motives are weird. Some of the characters are unlikable, so like fuck off type of deal. It's just no. It is directed and is written poorly.
Who directed it?
Ben Wheatley or something like that. I forgot. But anyways, it's pretentious as all hell. The music is a clear indication of that. It is choppy as shit. None of the characters are even remotely grasping in terms of like emotional and stuff. The only props I will give is that the production design was pretty cool. It was kind of like post-apocalyptic kind of type of deal. The acting was fine. Tom Hiddleston and Luke Evans were good. I will say that they were good, but everyone else was whatever. Didn't really care for them. Cinematography-wise, there was a couple of interesting like shots that really had kind of like a rich, colorful texture to it, and kind of really brought out the type of flair with that movie. And then when we get into the editing, the movie's 2 hours long. That was a chore to sit through. Like, this movie is beyond frustrating.
I'm glad I didn't see it.
I cannot stress this enough. It is definitely a bad movie, and I gave it a D. I know. After all that hate, I still gave it a D because at least Tom Hiddleston and Luke Evans were trying. Even though like their characters wouldn't make sense sometimes, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing type of deal, they were fine. But everything else,
skip it and watch Tom Hiddleston's new TV show.
God, yes. Like, High Rise is I hate the word. I hate pretentious as the word. You need to watch this movie and you tell me that you can't sit there and go, wow, this is really pretentious. Like, they really think they're the shit right now.
Is it getting a wide release?
Fuck, I hope not. Like, Jesus. It's just, listen, it was the last movie I saw at the festival, and it's just not good. I'm sorry. Skip it. Listen, and people will fire back at me. You just didn't understand the abstract art of it. I'm going to turn around right now, and Wes is going to point out what he sees on my shelf. What's that blue case you see at the bottom? Videodrome.
Oh, Videodrome down there.
David Cronenberg, very abstract. What's that one you see right there? You see Mulholland Drive over there?
That's right.
That's very abstract. And guess what? They work because they were delivered well in terms of the way it is made, put together. Because the thing is with High Rise, it is sloppy structural-wise, and it is it just jumps around.
Is it supposed to be a post-apocalyptic thriller?
I don't know. It never goes beyond the tower, except for when he goes to work. I don't know much about the outside world. That's the other thing. It just keeps everything in the dark for the most part. It's ridiculous. I love abstract weird shit. David Lynch is probably one of my favorite directors ever.
I met him at the first year of the festival. He was there the first year of the festival.
I would have fucking
He was just like
died.
right here.
I would have died. Mulholland Drive is like top 10 of all time for me. David Cronenberg is the same way. He's weird. I love The Fly, Videodrome, or whatever. But like this one, it didn't make any sense. Because at least with Mulholland Drive and Videodrome, I could like follow a storyline or like plot development. High Rise didn't have any of that shit. That's what was frustrating. So don't go see it. I can't recommend it or dis-recommend it or whatever the fuck you want to say it or whatever. It's not good. You can check it out if it ever comes out and you go to a screening or whatever. Just be prepared to sit through a 2-hour chore. That's all I'm telling you. High Rise is not good. So that's a great way to end this section. So overall, I think the festival was okay. There were some good ones, some bad ones or whatever. But yeah, Diff is always fun. But Wes needs to go to Fantastic Fest or South by. So yeah, he definitely will. So let's wrap this up with the box office results. Now, Wes, unfortunately, because I forgot to mention the rules to him, you did look at the first slot, right?
Yeah,
so,
I did. I looked at the results.
You looked at all 5 of them.
I don't remember all of them, but
okay. So
I remember the top movie, but I don't remember the others.
Well, let's just go ahead and look at it together since Wes. Okay. I forgot to mention the rules.
Way to go.
Well, first of all, oh wow, $9,000. Wow, no one wants to see that movie. All right.
I don't even know what is that movie.
We're talking about A Tale of Tales.
Tale of Tales.
It came in 40th place with like $9,000, and it was one of those films from Fantastic Fest. It's very weird, kind of abstract or whatever. Jumping into some new releases that came out, Elvis Nixon came out, and yes, it was only in like 300 theaters, but it only made about $500,000. I don't know what to think about that because that's just
it's getting very mixed reviews. That's a good cast.
But still, it's like Kevin Spacey, Michael Shannon stuff. You figured there'd be a thing for it. A Hologram for the King came in 11th place, and you're probably thinking, what's that movie?
I did see that.
How was it?
It was not that great.
Okay, so there's a reason why I only made $1.2 million. A Tom Hanks-led movie. You're like, what's this movie? Exactly. I can't believe it made that much. So going into the top 5, first of all, Wes's favorite movie of the year, Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, came in 6th place. So the boss beat it again.
Although it's still Batman Superman still has a lot more total.
I mean, it's right now Batman v Superman domestically, which is the U.S. and Canada, it's got $319, and worldwide it's got $851 on a $250 million budget. And now I always tell people you got to double the budget for it to break even. So it needs to make about $500. However,
that's production budget.
Production. The marketing actually exceeded this movie to $1 billion. They needed to make $1 billion to break even. So they're not doing really well that right now. So
I still think it'll do okay.
It'll do okay. I think that 3-hour-long cut, which I'm hoping it's a lot better. I think that will really drive a lot of sales when it comes out in Blu-ray and stuff. So here's the top 5 results for the weekend. Number 5 is The Boss with 6.08 million. That number is important because of number 4. Right now, The Boss has got 29, or its budget is 29 million. Double that, we're looking at what, 58. So
it'll do okay.
Yeah, worldwide it's at 57.
Movie, but
yeah, it looks terrible. I did not go see it, but it looks like it's just about to break even. Whatever. Number 4, Zootopia with 6.6 million.
That's still holding up well.
Oh, it's holding up very well. Like domestically, it's got 316. Worldwide, 907.
Wow, that's crazy.
I didn't think it would do that well, but like with the positive reviews, and I love it to death. I think it's my second favorite of the year so far. It's amazing.
It's my top 5.
But 900, that is insane.
It's what they use a term in the industry that has legs. It's
it keeps going because this movie came out almost 2 months ago. Like that's insane. And so with this and the Jungle Book and Civil War about to pop off, Disney is rolling very well on the ground right now, like fucking Scrooge McDuck. Yeah, I'm sure they busted their head with jumping in those gold coins like shit. Number 3, Barbershop: The Next Cut. That doesn't surprise me because it came in number 2 last week, and it's got a pretty big audience. Made 10.8 million. Its budget is unknown. Domestically made 36 so far. It's got no worldwide numbers, but I can tell you right now, they've already made their money back.
They have.
For sure.
I think I want to say it cost around 15 to 20 million.
Okay, so I mean, 15 to 20 million. That's not too bad. And number 2, Wes can have his little mini review right here. The Huntsman: Winter's War with 20 million. Oh fuck me. Its budget is 115, so it needs to make about 230. So I'm gonna say about 30 million for marketing. So about 250, 260. Oh my god. Domestically, it came out with 20 million, but worldwide it's at 100 already. He'll probably do fine overseas, but in domestic, no way.
It's not going to do well here.
Well, because next week we have Keanu coming out, which will probably steal a lot of that thunder and stuff. And Civil War comes out in 2 weeks. Forget about it. So I think that movie is DOA already.
That's right. I wasn't a fan of the first one.
So what overall would you like? How bad is Winter's War?
It's terrible. I gave it a D.
Oh God. There's a reason why I did the Dallas International Film Festival as today's topic instead of that fucking movie, because I'm not paying money to see that. So
it was bad. Be glad that you didn't.
God. So
it was bad. It was all over the place. I love Charlize and Emily Blunt, but it's really like a Frozen ripoff.
What Wes just did right there in 20 seconds is exactly why I did not stretch this episode into 2 hours or an hour even with that fucking movie. So, all right, number 1, obviously, second week in a row. Jungle Book was 60 million. Pretty good because what was it last week? It was 100. Yeah, 100.
Yeah,
so
that's not bad.
It only dropped. The numbers are right.
What, 40%?
40%. That's really good
for a second week.
Because they usually say if you drop below 50 or 60, then you're kind of in the red. But it dropped 40, which means this is going to have legs too. So
I think it'll be number 1 next week again, and then
Civil War when it comes out. Civil War 1, Jungle Book 2, Zootopia probably 4 or 5. Disney's probably going to hold a majority of the top 5 slots. Isn't that crazy to think about?
That is crazy.
Damn, dude. All right, so 60 million for the Jungle Book. Good for it. I love that movie. Its budget is 175, so it needs to make about 350. I'm gonna say about 375, maybe even 400 million to break even with marketing. Right now, In its second week, domestically, it's got 191. You're like, oh, that's not so good. The worldwide numbers, in 2 weeks, The Jungle Book has made $528 million.
That's great.
It's already made profit.
It's already turned.
Jesus Christ. It's already like on its way to like catching up to Zootopia. Like Disney. What are you doing, man? You need to pump the brakes a little bit. You're Scrooge McDucking it all over the place. So, yeah.
Whatever they're doing right.
They're doing it right. And listen, Zootopia, great animated movie for families. Jungle Book, great live action movie for families. Civil War, superhero crowd. Hell, they got Pete's Dragon coming out. They got Doctor Strange. Oh, dear Lord. They got a bunch of crap coming out. So that's amazing, Jungle Book. Good for you. So,
everybody that I know has seen it has loved it. I loved it.
Oh, I loved it. I gave like an A. I was just like, hey, listen, besides, a couple things that were like whatever to me, that was great. It was a great movie. So
I know you probably talked about the Jungle Book, but for me, I loved it. The only thing I didn't really care for were the songs. And I know that I
actually didn't mind the Bare Necessity song, but I did not care for the King Louis songs. I felt like that was out of place. I felt like the Bare Necessity ones was fine.
I know it's nods to the original, but I thought they could have done with that.
No, the King Louis one was definitely out of place because he was just sitting there and they'd be like, it's like, so what are you doing? Like, Christopher Walken, calm that shit down. It's a Mowgli, fucking bananas. I'm King Louis. It's like that was the best voice casting ever. Christopher Walken's King Louis.
He was great.
So that will do it for this week's show, guys. I want to thank you for listening. And listen, if you want to listen to an audio-only version of the podcast and you're watching on YouTube, a link will be in the description below. If you're listening on Spreaker, iTunes, iHeartRadio, or SoundCloud, you want a video version, link will be in the description below. For next week on episode 128, I will have my reviews of The Green Room and Keanu, since those are the movies that come out. And 2 weeks from now, I will have my review of Captain America, Civil War. I'm going to have I know Wes is so excited. Look at him. I'm going to have Susan Kamyab from this Chicks Flicks. And
that'll be good.
Yeah. The only reason I bring her on is because unlike Wes and Carrie, she actually geeks out like them just like I do. But we have lives. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, we're gonna throw that shit out. No, but she was on my Mad Max episode. She was on another one, so she's a really great guest. But Wes was a really great guest too. And with that being said, Wes, where can the good people find you online?
Watchwithwes.com. And thank you for having me.
No problem. And if you want to follow his Twitter, if you're watching on YouTube, it's right there on the header. It's at Wes Single. And then, guys, if you want to follow my voice is cracked. It's at Real Chase Lee on Twitter. And if you want to subscribe to YouTube, you can do that. I don't care what you do. You guys are pretty great, pretty awesome. I enjoy you guys listening every single week because I know there's a small group out there that do listen every single week. I appreciate it. So next week, 128 for Green Room and Keanu. So listen. If you are not a movie fan, you listen to this entire fucking podcast, which is one of my longer ones, but that's okay. We had a lot to talk about. Maybe I convinced you to be a movie fan. Maybe Wes convinced you to be one. So spread this podcast around and do the good deed of spreading this around like a great disease on the internet because this is the definitive movie podcast show. So I will see you guys next week for episode 120 on Real Me and a movie podcast. Thank you, Wes, for coming on.
Thank you.
And if the intro and outro music is done by my friends band Fervent Rose. They're a Dallas-based band. Check them out. They're blowing up pretty big right now. So see you guys next week. Let's play that outro music, son. Oh, Dallas International Film Festival. Good shit. Good shit. Oh, yeah. See you guys later.